But anyway, thus, if one were to increase the mass of the planet in the simulation
The Covenant
above,
believe that
the
what they call the
size of the
silent
sun's
cartographer
circle
is somewhere under this
and the
island.
amplitude of the
The
radial
cartographer is a
velocity
map room who will
curve
lead
would
us to Halo's control
increase.
center.
So if we
The
increase
island has multiple structures and
the
installations.
mass of a
One of them
planet,
contains the map room.
then the size of the sun's circle and the amplitude of the radial velocity curve would increase. This makes sense because the center of mass moves away from the star if we increase the mass of the planet. To increase the mass of the planet, the center of mass of the system moves towards the planet. This means that the orbit of the star itself has to increase, and that then causes a
Wobble.
since the period is is basically this ratio does come into effect, but it's very small. This ratio, because the ratio is, this would be 1 over 333,000. That's almost zero. So the period then is related to the mass of the planet, but it's not very sensitive to it. And so, at any rate, the sun has to speed up to go around a larger circle, basically. So that's why the radial velocity curve will increase. As the center of mass moves towards the planet, the circle that the sun has to go around is larger. So if the period stays basically the same size, then the sun has to move faster to get around that larger circle. And so the radial velocity curve increases. And then, so that's one of the methods that we have. We take a look at the radial velocity curve. Another method is the transit method, and this is when the planet moves in front of the star and blocks some of its light. And we will look at that method as well. Okay, let's take a look at this part. Okay, so here's where you come when you here's where you come when you touch the link for this lab. And essentially what we have here is we have that the center of mass, here's our center of mass, and this gives you a good idea of how this one up here gives you a good idea of how the star and the planet are fixed, and how they rotate about the center of mass, and how what their phases are, and so on. So this little object up here in the left-hand corner, hopefully you can see that. If you can't see the motion, let me know, and but hopefully you should be able to see it. Now here, if we increase the mass of mass 2, I'm going to use the applet here. Notice how the center of mass changes when the two are the same size.